Greetings! This is the Instrument Sidekick video for the clarinet, page 24, Longer and Longer Rhythms. Page 24, Longer and Longer Rhythms. So, up till now, we've had quarter notes, which all get one beat, ta, 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 and we have eighth notes, which get two per beat, t, 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 t. Now, those are kind of fairly fast, but now we need to know about rhythms where the notes go a long time. Okay, so maybe they go ta, right? So what if we have long notes? Well, we obviously have different rhythms for those same notes. So circles on the staff to keep track of the pitches, but the shape of our notes keeps changing to add new rhythms, okay? So we're going to start at the top of this page with half notes get two beats. These are what half notes look like. They're white circles with a stem coming up from the right side, or if they're really high notes, down from the left side, like down here. Okay? So the stem comes up, but now they're white circles instead of black circles. So now that makes it so we're half notes. And guess what? They get two beats. So two taps of your foot, length of time for each note. So if this is your foot tapping the ground, they go ta, 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 ta. Okay, they last two foot taps. Don't tongue each foot tap because that would be quarter notes. Don't go ta, ta. They're ta, ta. Okay, they last two footsteps. All right. And then we have whole notes get four beats. Now, whole notes are white circles, no stem at all. No little line coming out or down, up or anywhere for the notes. So the circle's still on a spot that tells us what pitch to play. Okay, but since it's just a white circle, it's a whole note and it gets four beats. So if this is your foot tapping, it goes ta, ta. You're tapping the ground and it's lasting four foot taps, okay? So then you have four of those to go through for me. And then we have a rhythm and foot test. A rhythm and foot test. So this is kind of a test. It's not a belt test, but it's a foot test, mostly checking rhythm. It does not end in one line. It goes two lines long before we get to our double bar. So this is a 2-line long song. It's the first time you have that. So when you get to the end of a line, if there is no double bar, you go to the beginning of the next line and keep going until you come across a double bar. Okay? So then you stop. Or a repeat sign, in which case you'd go all the way to the beginning a second time. Now, on the second line, you're going to see are above the break notes. Okay? These are above the break notes. So if you review back to page 17, those are what our three above the break notes look like. Okay? You have a B, which is above the top, the added ledger line, an A, which is a added ledger line above the staff, and a G, which is just the space above the staff with no added ledger lines. Okay? And G is the one that's kind of like C, A is the one that's kind of like D, and B is the one that's kind of like E. But they are different. They're B, A, and G. They are different pitches. So don't say that this one's an E or E above the break. No, 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 no. That may be the fingering, but this is a B. This is an A, and that's a G. So that's what these pitches are. Now, when you get to this page, you still might not be able to make the sounds that you need to for those to actually sound correct, okay? You still may be getting that sound that I told you get that's in between, where you just go. That's fine for now. This is a rhythm and foot test. As long as your fingers are covering the holes in the correct way. If your embouchure's not ready to get the actual sound, then that's okay, okay? If you can, awesome. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's a rhythm and foot test, not a pitch test. But you do need to be putting your fingers down correctly. All right, so when I do that as the example, I'm going to go ahead and play it both ways. One, the way that students who don't have a strong enough embouchure to hit above the break yet, how it'll sound. And then I'll do it again with the version that if you can go above the break, what it will sound like, okay? So I'm going to do both. But I'm going to start in the beginning of the page, and I'm going to play all the way through this. So let me set this up again, because it's a rhythm and foot test, so I want you to still see my feet. All right. Alrighty. So, see, you can see my foot tapping. There we go. All right. So, this is what half notes get 2 beats sounds like. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay. Now, this is what whole notes get 4 beats sounds like. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. All right, and then we have rhythm and foot test. All right, so remember it's 2 lines long. This time, I will do it the way it's supposed to be with the above the break sounds. So those sounds will actually happen. So I'm still starting at the beginning of it though. So rhythm and foot test with actual above the break sounds. 1, 2, ready, and. Oops. There we go. So you see how I had some issues there. My reed had gotten a little dry, and I had a little trouble with the high B and the eighth notes. So that's totally fine. If you make that mistake in your rhythm and foot test, react the same way I did. Just fix the mistake and then keep going. It's totally fine. Okay? Now, here's what it'll sound like if you aren't able to go above the break, and you could just, keep going, whether you could do it or not. All right? So here we go. Rhythm and foot test without successful above the break sounds. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, so that is what that'll sound like. And with included some honest mistakes on my part. So works out very similar. I'm assuming a lot of you will make similar mistakes. And of course I'm okay if I'm making the mistake. I'm okay with you making that mistake too. So that's totally fine if that comes up. So that's the test you need to pass that page, but I'll make you play everything on the page, of course. And it's all about that foot tapping. Now, those above the break sounds will have to happen before green belt, but it's still a few pages away before they actually have to be happening. But remember that every day you need to be doing that above the break hot cross buns and just trying to play through it. And every once in a while you might get a little bit of a sound like I did, and hopefully eventually you'll get all the sounds. All right, so keep working on that every single day. All right, and for your practice, at this point, you'll still want to be doing regular hot cross buns, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and Claire de la Lune, above the break hot cross buns, and maybe whatever other things, and then all the holiday tunes, and then Bile Them Cabbage Down. Okay, should still be doing all those every day, and keep working on it. All right. Good luck with working on this. It's a little challenging with the above the break addition there, but other than that, I think the addition of whole notes and half notes is going to be fairly easy to pick up, I think, for you. All right. So practice, 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 and I'll check this in our next meeting. May the force be with you.